Computer. There we go. I just want to high five everybody. Seriously, it's been so fun watching you guys like playing full out, sharing your workouts, sharing your aha moments. This is how athletes are born. So high five yourself, high five each other. Great work. You're here. You kicked some ass. Nice work. All right. So we are going to get this party started. Give me a two in the chat if you're ready to get this party started. Yeah, here we go. Nora's ready. I like it. Microsoft PowerPoint. There we go. Now I want my chat popped out also. Do you guys ever sing when you do things like that? I'm like, and I want my chat popped out. All right. Here we go. I've got all the things. Yeah, Jackie's ready. Carissa's ready. Misty's ready. Everybody's ready. All right, my friends. Here we go. Let's do this thing. So just to kick everything off, Wendy is going to drop a link into the chat right now. This is the post-challenge survey. So this helps us make the challenges better, do more of what you love, less of what you don't. So if you could please take and copy this link. Oh, Peggy, yeah. Okay, now we know Peggy's ready. If you could please copy this link, open it in a different tab, and then after we hop off the phone, if y'all could please fill this out so that we can continue to make these challenges better for you every single time. Cool? All right, here we go. So first things first, if I can get to my next slide, who knows? It's possible we'll never see the next slide. There it is. You did it! First of all, I want to say starting was a huge win, right? Type a 1 in the chat if you feel like you saying yes to this challenge alone was a massive win. And then type a 5 in the chat if you are like, oh my God, I can't believe I freaking did it. If you are like so impressed with yourself that you have showed up here, you have finished this challenge. And I really just want to say welcome to your first of many checkpoints. Okay, what happened between the start and the finish? This is where all of our learning and growth happens, right? And so it's important that we have lots of checkpoints, lots of starts and finishes. Sometimes we think that being a roller derby athlete means I'm just gonna be playing roller derby forever and just constantly like trying to get better ambiguously. But the reality is it's not. Any goal that you set on the track, any goal that you set in life, it's important that you have these checkpoints, 21 days, 16 weeks, 12 weeks, chunks of time that allow you to start and finish and learn and reflect and then go again. Okay. So I really want to say for everyone on here, I want every single one of you to make sure that you have submitted videos. If you haven't submitted it yet, because I think only 30% have submitted it, submit your video by tomorrow at noon and we will still consider it. Okay, so that's Tuesday at noon because there are a ton of you that we want to recognize. And I think a lot of people don't submit videos because they feel like, oh, well, there's no way I'm going to win, so I don't want to submit. Submitting is not about you winning. Submitting those videos is about you completing the challenge and recognizing yourself for what you did. So if you have not submitted a video yet and you're committing to do it, comment below in the chat with I will right now so that we can make sure to support you in getting that video done. If you have already submitted your video, comment below with I have in the chat and then we'll know that you got it done. Okay. Now, my question for you, and let's start out with what are your wins from the last 21 days? Comment in the chat. Sweet.
Chrissy, before we move on, the videos, please make sure that the video settings are such that we can see them.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's one that's in there that I can't see because the settings aren't correct.
Okay. Is someone on here? Is it someone that's on here?
Yes, I'm going to send them a direct message right now.
Okay. Perfecto. Sweet. Nora submitted, Carissa submitted, Jackie submitted, Joanne submitted. Amazing. Kate submitted, Kelly submitted, Peggy. So apparently we've had way more than 30%. My numbers are wrong. So if you have not yet, make sure you do that. And then right now, comment in the chat with what are your wins from the last 21 days? In fact, I would love to have a couple of you guys come off and share. Who wants to share your wins? Like physical wins, mental wins, derby wins, life wins, nutrition wins. Comment in the chat box with them for sure. And then if maybe one or two of you guys just want to give us a quick hand raise if you want to share what your wins were from the last 21 days. Everyone's like, no, I only want to share my wins in the chat. Jackie says nutrition and I exercise more. Mental. Okay, but what specifically? Tell us what specifically. What did you win at physically? How did your nutrition change? What changed about your mindset? How did you get better at Derby? What are you doing better in life? Give me a hand raise if you want to share. Yeah, go for it, Peggy. We'll go Peggy, then Jackie.
I have to unmute. I
There
had to
we go.
figure
We
out the
got
mute. It's on
you.
my phone. I had to move rooms because my 5-year-old's doing things. For me, mentally, it's like, holy crap, I can do this.
Mhm.
I am fitter than I think I am. I'm not just a potato. I can actually do 100 burpees. I can act like getting over that mental hump of holy crap, I can actually do this.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And how many times and how many places in your life do you think that you've counted yourself out by deciding that you couldn't do something before you even did it?
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
I don't have an exact number, but like when I joined Derby, it was, well, I'll stay until they decide, please don't come back. And I've been almost 4 years and they haven't asked me to not come back yet.
Shocker. Amazing, dude. Congratulations. All right, go for it, Jackie. Jackie's like, hand up, can't get off mute.
That mute button,
Here you,
invisible.
I'm gonna, let me see, can
Oh,
I unmute you?
There we go. Thank you.
there.
Hey.
I'm on my phone in my truck because I'm about to go to derby practice. Woohoo! So I'm excited. But I have to say, I did not ever think I would log my food. I really like came into it going, I'm not going to log my food. And then I found this amazing app, and so I'm starting to see those trends that I'm having. That PVC is amazing. Of thinking that protein, that vegetable, and the carbohydrates. So that I'm taking with me, and that's a big win. And I was like, these workouts really are like maybe 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, that's not too much time. And though I didn't do every single one of them, and I'm being honest, but I did more than I was doing before. So I'm very happy about that. And I know I just got to get that into the routine. So
Amazing.
thank you very much. This is an amazing program.
Oh, well, we're so proud of you. And Jackie, this is just the beginning. And I really want to commend you for showing up and doing it, even if you're only doing part of it, because that's the thing is most of us, we strive for 100%. And so we do zero. And if you just strive for like 70% and you do that for the rest of your life, it's like, holy shit, like incrementally your whole life will change. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Comment below if anyone's like, yeah, PVC was like a brain exploding aha moment for me. Kate says side planks and push-ups, self-awareness and accountability around planning workouts and snacking at work. Awesome. Nora, getting more protein, better quality of sleep, accountability. Love it. Joanne got back into the flow of workouts and yoga, improved nutrition to be back in my calories and more protein. Love it. Built routines and boundaries around balancing study and workouts. Kelly, physically, I did the days with the social media check-ins. Yes, check-ins. Peggy, still working on veggies, but definitely increasing protein. Awesome. Anyone else want to share before we move on? All right, well, we'll see your videos then. All right, let me get back to my PowerPoint. Can you guys see it? Thumbs up if you can see my PowerPoint. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Let me get back to it. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of vision, right? Because you have started this, we're 21 days in, and I just want you to know that this is just the beginning, okay? So we have what we call in Crash Course the Athlete Development Program. And the philosophy behind it is this. It takes 6 to 12 weeks to establish consistency or form habits. Habits being doing the thing long enough that you start to get it right, right? Not perfect, but you start to get it right. Who feels like, comment with a me in the chat if you feel like you're starting to get some of this stuff right. And I'm willing to bet it's probably about 100% of you. Yep. Kate, yep. Joanne, Carissa, Jackie, Nora, 100%, right? Now, I really want you guys to start thinking forward now because a lot of people get stuck in what we call a habit loop. They think that this little bit of progress is going to sustain itself on its own, Okay. And this is what ends up being a yo-yo or a start, stop, start, stop, start, stop thing. Whoever feels like they have sort of this limit that they get to, and then they can't break past it and they always fall off. Type a 1 in the chat. It might be 2 weeks. It might be a month. You might be a 6-month person, right? And so that's because that's an indicator that you're stuck in a habit loop. And so in order to actually become an MVP on the track in life, you have to also start thinking about not just doing the thing long enough that you start to get it right, but actually establishing a lifestyle. This takes anywhere between 12 and 16 months. This is things like understanding the periodization of a roller derby season, right? This is things like, I call lifestyle doing it long enough that you can't imagine getting it wrong. This is where it becomes a lot more easy and effortless. This is where we stop having those 2 weeks on, 2 weeks on, 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off kind of thing. And then from there, really thinking long term, right, is the third piece of this is when it becomes an actual identity shift. It's not I do some workouts, it's I'm an athlete and this is how I live my life. And it becomes so ingrained in you that even your life as an athlete, it's going to go on after Derby. It's just going to be how you live your life forever. And realistically, I'm just going to be straight up. I'm never going to bullshit you guys and be like, oh yeah, you can do that in 12 weeks. That's going to take you 3 to 4 years. Some of you, you may be, this is your first 21 days into that. Some of you, you may be a year into that. You may be 2 years into that. Okay. But it's important to understand and be real with yourself on what longevity of lifestyle change and identity change actually looks like. And the thing is that most people quit because they miss a workout. They overestimate how important one workout is compared to just showing up for 75% of them. Okay. Who's done that in the past? Comment with a 1 in the chat if you're like the person that you've ever, you had one flat tire in your fitness, so you slashed the other 4 tires and you were like, fuck it, and then came back 6 months later, right? This is the mindset of someone in the habit phase. It's the I gotta do it perfect all the time, right? Once you get into lifestyle and identity, this is where you start really understanding that 75% is king. Okay. So my question is, what did you come here for? Did you come here for a challenge, a few workouts, or did you come here to change your life? Comment in the chat with challenge if you were just here for a challenge. Comment with life if you're like, yo, I'm here to change my freaking life. And maybe you came in for a challenge and now you're seeing like, oh, this is something very different than what I realized I actually needed. Or maybe you're having a moment about how you get stuck. So I do want to introduce you to a couple of skaters as we go through this. Violet was one of them. So Violet was one of the skaters that came into our 16-week program. And the biggest things that they wanted to work on was creating routines and then really starting to feel more like an athlete. And so the cool thing was, and this was such an awesome thing, that when I did Violet's graduation interview, they said that they found the power for one more jam, one more attempt, do it one more time, instead of getting down on themselves every time that it got hard or challenging. And the cool thing was they improved their performance at work because their mindset wasn't just about Derby. Have any of you guys started to notice that this stuff is seeping into your regular life? Comment with a me in the chat if you're like, this stuff has been seeking into my regular life. Kate says, test driving a challenge with the hope of changing life. Awesome. Starting a challenge, but challenge life. Love it. Yes. So this stuff starts to seep in your life. How you do anything is how you do everything. And that's the thing, is when you stick to this stuff, you do get that confidence to do your whole life better. Okay. So what are your next goals? I want you to write these down on paper, and then I want you to share them in the group. We usually think of checkpoints and Crash Course as 1 month, whether that's the monthly one-on-one check-ins that our Crash Course members have with their coaches via coaching call, or maybe that's your 1 month check-in as you go from challenge to challenge. We also do checkpoints at 12 weeks or 16 weeks. Okay, around a quarter of a year is a really, really important goal because it's enough time to really get an amazing result. If you have not read the book 12-week year, write it down, get it. It's incredible. We base our entire 1 year Thrive program, which is phase 2 of Crash Course, where we focus on lifestyle. In that program, our philosophy is based off of the 12-week year, which is that you, instead of setting 1 year goals, you focus on everything 12 weeks at a time to condense results. Okay. And then I always think that 1 year is an incredible goal because you can pack 4 12-week plans into that 1 year. and then be able to look at your life from a higher standpoint. Okay, so comment below with your goal for the next month. Give me one goal for the next month and then one goal for the next 12 weeks. What's one thing that if you kept leaning into what you're doing right now, that you would accomplish for sure in the next 1 month? And then what's one goal that if you were to keep leaning into what you're doing right now, you would accomplish in the next 12 weeks? Write these down so you have them for yourself, but then also post them in the group here so we can look at them. And if anyone wants to share, we can actually do a little share. Hang on, I'm trying to be able to see everyone. Raise your hand if you want to share your 1 month or your 12-week goal. Everyone's like, Chrissy, I'm writing and typing. You can't ask me to also raise my hand and share. I'm looking for them in here. Everyone's writing furiously. Really imagine, I mean, I want you guys to understand that the kinds of results that you've gotten in the last 21 days are incredible. And as you get better at this, as you lean into these structures, it actually becomes easier and easier and easier. And you'll see we have had in this challenge, we've had a lot of our Crash Course and Transformation members, we've had a lot of our Thrive members that are actually in our 16-week and our 1-year programs, because they use these 21-day challenges, which they actually get this program included for free in their Crash Course programs. So they use these as like these quick momentum jumping off points inside of their 12-week and 16-week goals. So comment in the chat with what is your goal for the next 1 month? What is one goal for the next 12 weeks that you would accomplish should you continue leaning into what you've been working on? Awesome. Joanne, I see 12 weeks improved blood work. Amazing. 1 month protein to hit my macros. Amazing. Anyone else? I see you writing furiously, so I know you guys have them. Sweet. Carissa, 1 month to try out for the charter team. Yes. Carissa, I also want you to write down what are the things that you need to feel confident in order to feel confident in trying out for the charter team. Okay. 12 weeks, first bout at home, and a 5K. Amazing. What does the training program need to look like for the next 12 weeks in order to hit the 5K? And then for that first bout, what are the things that you need to make sure you have on point so that when you come to that game, you feel confident stepping on the track? All right, who else? Throw them in there. Let's see, Jackie, 1 month exercise routine. I love it. Is that just having one or doing it? And then what do you want as a result of that? And then 12 weeks, meeting my protein intake. Love it. Again, what's the result that you want from that? 1 year, higher endurance and energy, playing my home team with confidence. I love it. Anyone else want to share before we move on? Going once, going twice, here we go. All right, I have a few people to introduce you to. The second one being Mangler. So Mangler was someone, she now plays for Team Michigan, has gotten MVP blocker multiple times. Mangler actually went through the entire Crash Course curriculum, started with Crash Course and Transformation, went on to Thrive for Lifestyle, and then moved on to MVP for Identity. And the biggest thing that Mangler came in, she was training for multiple sports. She was training for roller derby as well as bike racing. And so it was really important for her to understand how to avoid burnout as she was switching between sports. And so it was really an important thing to set up the mindset of not training too hard just for the sake of training. And so we focused on building better habits. She got MVP blocker, and really has developed like an athlete lifestyle for life versus just being a good derby skater. Let's see, Kate says 1 month more solid and knowledgeable nutrition meal plan prep. I love it. 12 weeks, weekly gym routine. Love it. 1 year more physical flexibility. Perfect. More confidence and strength in my tricky derby skills. Hockey stops, edges, apex jumps. Perfect. Okay, great. So what are the challenges that are in the way of you guys making this stuff happen? Think about it. If you're going to set these goals for the next 1 month, 12 weeks, 1 year, what are the things that are getting in the way? Is it going to be a lack of structure around workouts? Is it going to be a lack of support of people there cheering you on? Is it going to be because that you don't have community? Maybe, if they say you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, think about your goals and then think about the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are those things lined up to help you or to hinder you? What else? what things are going to get in the way. Write these down, but also comment in the chat. What are the things that you really think are potentially going to hold you back? Because it's one thing to set a goal, but to set a goal without having the forethought to understand that shit's going to get in your way is basically setting a useless goal. If you think you're going to set this goal and then life is going to be rainbows and butterflies, it's just not. And so if we can pre-plan for what's going to get in the way, what we can do is we can remove some of those things. We can put the structures, the support, the community in place so that we don't end up getting stuck 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks into whatever our goal is, and then forgetting about it, and then coming back to it a year later at Chrissy's next 21-day New Year's challenge, right? So comment in the chat, what are the things that might potentially get in your way? What might get you stuck? Awesome. Let's see. Okay, so I hear Jackie say structure around workouts. I love this community. We love you too. I need to find my community out here that's on the same journey. I know I can find people in Derby and just need to find them. Awesome. Jackie, a really great way to do that I would recommend. And we have this thing we call Pack is Here, which is like we have our community here, but our concept of Pack is Here is like, how are we developing, like who are the 1, 2, 3, 4 other people in our life that are also on this journey with us? And that's why I always recommend when you guys do these challenges, get 1, 2, 3, 4 of your league mates to do it with you. Because if you guys are transforming your mindset along with a couple of people that you see and talk to on a regular basis, it's an absolute game changer. Like we just had an event this weekend out in Baton Rouge called Skates, Plates, and Weights. And it's a free roller derby boot camp that we put on for our Crash Course and Transformation members. They get to come out, we run workouts for them, we teach them about proper lifting form, we did, tons of on skates, drills, skills, all of that stuff. And the thing I think that was most impactful, the skating was great, but the spending time around other like-minded people that are working on hustling and leveling up their derby game, but really committed to leveling up their mindset is huge. So having those people in your life is really, really important. Let's see, structure, having to keep myself on track. My coworkers that I spend the majority of my time with tend to be negative Nancy's, so blocking them out. Yep, 100% Peggy. So really making sure, and I know that you're joining us for Crash Course. Congratulations on getting accepted, by the way. So freaking excited for you. This is going to be a huge place for you to lean into community. So I'm really excited for you to have that. Let's see, Joanne says, my time being consumed by my business. Yeah, it's so easy for those outside things to really get in the way. So it's important that we're scheduling in, what are my top priorities? What are my big rocks? And then filling in the little things around them. Joanne, a question that I want you to constantly ask yourself is, am I doing what's urgent or am I doing what's important? Because a lot of times we let the urgent things like a ping on our phone and like notifications on Instagram get in the way of us actually doing the important things. Okay. Nora says juggling workouts, derby, work, and parenting. I love it. And also, Nora, congratulations, new Crash Course member. We're so excited for you too. This is great. We are going to work with you a lot on juggling this stuff. We're going to do a lot on time management, and similar to what I'm talking about right now, we're going to be working with you on making sure we have the right workouts for you and your goals, and then also how to juggle the parent thing, the derby thing, the work thing. Most of our coaches are also parents, so we'll make sure that you're with someone that's going to help you do that. Let's see, Carissa says structure. I need to keep myself accountable to stick to routine. Yes. And I think in the beginning, it's keeping yourself accountable to stick to routine, but also what are the structures you're putting in place to make sticking to the routine easier? What are the things that you can set up so that it becomes like a non-negotiable for you to do your morning routine, right? Setting up a setup Sunday, pre-problem solving your week, asking yourself what little things might get in the way on a daily basis. Awesome. And then Kate says self-motivation, lack of structure outside myself. Got it. Doing it by myself. Yep. Finding time on skates outside of derby practice, not prioritizing time to spend planning all aspects of my week, continuing to not use my planner. So it sounds like a lot of this is setting up the structure, having the outside accountability. So whether it's another challenge or KCAT, having that outside accountability, I think is going to be a big one for you. Okay, got it. Perfect. So let me get back to our slides, if I can make them work. Don't you love a good, there we go. So last friend we're going to meet, or maybe second to last friend, is Karen. So Karen was someone who was with us for over a year, right? Over the course of that time, accumulated 4 MVP awards, finally started cross-training consistently, said that they were finally feeling like they weren't just dieting and like sucking it up for like a couple of weeks, but actually started eating like an athlete for the long term. And the result of all of that stuff was huge boost in confidence on and off the track, and then better endurance and strength. Right. And so I know one of Karen's big things was it was a lot of the community and support that really, really helped her stay accountable, right? So it's not just having the structure, because here's the thing, like you could go to Google and you could be like roller derby workout and they'll give you something. I could write the most perfect workout for you. I could give you the most amazing meal plan, and I could come back in 90 days and 90% of you wouldn't have done it, or you had done it for a week and fallen off. So sometimes it's not just the information, but it's actually the accountability, somewhere to show up to really make the difference. Comment in the chat with a 3 if you felt like having the structure of the challenge gave you the accountability to show up for yourself in a way you wouldn't have otherwise. Yep, 100%. Nora 3, K 3, Peggy 3, Joanne 3, 3's all around, Carissa 3, everybody. So really just asking yourself, what do you want to create in the next 16 weeks? And I'm going to have you guys write these 5 areas down. And I want you to reflect on this when we get off the call. And I want you to share this inside the Facebook group. If you thought about the next 16 weeks, what do you want to create in terms of your skills on the track? How do you want your life to be different as a result of you pouring into yourself? How do you want your health to be different? Not just, oh, I want to eat better and I want to work out, but what's on the other side of that? Like, what's the real impact that those things have in their life? How do you actually want to be thinking? How do you want to be thinking about yourself? How do you want to be thinking about the people around you? And I think this is a big one, is also, is there any shifts you want to make with your career? And the only reason I ask that is because I find that a lot of people there's the thing they really want to do, but a lot of times they're scared to go out and do it. So, if you're someone who's like, God, like my coworkers are such crap, like I'd love to work somewhere else. Is this the time for you to maybe go out and start considering what are your other options? I find that when the derby levels up, the life levels up, the health levels up, and the mindset levels up, the other areas like relationships and career naturally get pulled up with them. Okay. So, look at what you accomplished in 21 days, right? You were with the right community, with the right strategy, with the right support. And we all know that this isn't just about roller derby. This is about your entire life. Imagine how different it would be if you leaned in for 16 weeks or a year or 2 years. Wendy is such an incredible example of someone who leaned into the entire athlete development program and then went on to get a personal trainer certification. And we hired her because she's so freaking incredible, right? Pia's like, yes, she is. So what would happen if you just leaned in? I'm not saying you're going to become a personal trainer, but what would it look like for you if you just leaned in? So last friend that we're going to meet today is Smash. So Smash was someone who felt like, and put a 1 in the chat if you can relate to this, felt like they were ping-ponging off of everything in their life, constantly putting out fires, constantly doing what was urgent instead of important, doing it in their life, but also doing it on the track. Instead of focusing on staying low, staying with the pack, or staying low, pushing laterally, Smash was someone who would go in fight or flight mode and then just forget everything and just be reacting, right? And so what ended up happening is A, they went through burnout in terms of roller derby, but B, they went through massive burnout in terms of their life. And so a big thing that Smash worked on with Crash Course, it's right, you could put the number 1, Peggy. The biggest thing that Smash worked on in Crash Course was we slowed Smash down. We were like, let's focus on taking care of your body. Let's focus on not overdoing it. I'm such a huge believer that less is more. Because if you're working smarter, not harder, your body is going to thank you in the long run with Derby. You're going to be able to be here for 5 years, 10 years, 50 years. Pia, how many years in roller derby at this point? 25?
22.
22. 22 years in roller derby comes from smarter, not harder, you guys. And then the cool thing with Smash is by the end of the program, they were they were taken on for a jammer position on their roster. And that came from better footwork, better, juking and all of those things. So if you want to be the person that's like, my endurance is amazing on the track now, then it's going to take leaning in for more than 21 days, whether that's through a challenge, whether it's through RDTC, whether that's through KCAT. I want you in the mindset of like, what is the kind of training that you're committing to for the next 16 weeks, 1 year, 2 year? Because I'm just going to be honest, 21 days is great, but you guys heard it at the beginning of the challenge. One of our winners from this challenge last year was like, this challenge was amazing. I got so many results. And then I went off and did my own thing. And now here I am a year later, right? And so it's important that you're thinking long-term. You're thinking like an athlete, not like a dieter, okay? So what are you gonna do next? Okay, you can leave these challenges going, that was great, I'm gonna go do my own thing. You can go back to probably the way it was, and I will see you next New Year's, okay? The other option is if you wanna kind of maintain what you've been doing, couple awesome places you can do. One, you can join the Roller Derby Training Club fitness app. It's $10 a month, 3 derby specific workouts a week. It doesn't have a ton of community, but it's kind of like some no-brainer derby specific workouts, okay? The other option is you could join our next 21-day challenge that starts February 3rd. We are doing a fast feet agility challenge. It will have 2 off skates workouts per week. It will have 2 on skates roller derby drills per week plus mindset. Now, we're not doing winning things in this one. The rest of the year, we're really focusing on the challenges about you versus you, okay? Those challenges, just like this one, they're $97. Each month, we're gonna have a new topic. So you may be someone who's just like, you know what, this challenge was great. I'm committed that this is my new training structure. I do 21 days, I reset, I do 21 days. That's great. If that's you, perfect. Now, if you're someone who's like, I actually really just want to level the fuck up. I want to create total transformation. I want everything done for me. I want someone to show me how to do this. I want my hand held. I want things that are custom to me. And I want a community that's like twice as energetic as even our already amazing challenge community was. Then I would say that Crash Course in Transformation is the place for you. Now, this is more like hiring a personal trainer. So it is several $100 a month, depending on what you need. Okay. But my suggestion for you is if you want to keep the momentum going, you need to pick at least one of these 3 things. So I'm going to ask you right now to commit to something. Okay. So comment below in the chat. And if you're watching the recording, you can comment in the comments or tell your coach is you can type KCIT if you want details on how to apply for the Crash Course in Transformation program. Okay. You can type 21DC if you want details on how to get involved in the next challenge, or you can type RDTC if you want the link for how to sign up for the fitness app. Maybe you want all 3. You can put all 3 of them, but Wendy's going to take note and she's going to make sure that you guys get exactly what you need in terms of next steps. Because again, we don't want to see you come back next year like, man, I really wish I would have done something. Okay. So for Crash Course in Transformation, just to let you guys know, program's 16 weeks long. We only have 2 spots left because congrats, Peggy and Nora, brand new KCAT members. We're only accepting 4 people from this challenge. So 2 of the spots are still left open for January. Things that you will get, this challenge will be included for you for free inside of that. This is where we will customize all your workouts. You'll have the amazing community. We actually do live on skates workshops and off skates workshops through Facebook Live that are done where you're getting coached directly from our coaches. That's also where we have like the skates, plates, and weights that are a couple times a year in person. And it really picks up right where the challenge left off. Okay. So whichever one you are, for me, it's like, I just care that you do something. Okay. So understand that like, if you want to level up, if you want to come back in January of 2026 and be like, holy shit, my game is completely transformed, it's going to come from leaning into something. Okay. So I really challenge you to see this as the beginning, not the end. Okay. This is just like your starting off point. This is just your first of many, many checkpoints to becoming an incredible athlete. So make sure you've put down which one that you want details on, and we will make sure that you guys get everything that you need. So just in terms of announcing winners for the challenge, winners will be announced by Wendy and Pia on Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and they will do that live in the Facebook group, or via recording if they're not doing it live. One of the two. It will be announced Wednesday at 10:30. And then just a quick reminder to scroll up in the chat, or maybe Wendy can post it again with the link to the feedback form for the challenge so we can continually make these better. So any questions as we close things out and we get ready for the next challenge to start? How do I stop my share? You can give me a thumbs up if you have 0 questions, or you can give me a hand raise if you're like, I have questions on how something, I don't know, how the world works. Is it round or flat? Who knows? Thumbs up if you're good to go. I see thumbs, I see thumbs. Awesome. All right, my friends, this is it. We are officially closing out the Build a Better Athlete 21-day challenge. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations, I believe everyone on here has sent in their video. We cannot wait to celebrate all of you. We cannot wait to celebrate our winners. We are very, very proud of you. Doing these challenges, doing the work that we do, it fills my soul, because I feel like you guys are the next generation of amazing roller derby athletes, especially for those of us that have been around for 15, 20 plus years, 10 years. We are so committed to seeing you guys being the next ones that are coming up, that you're the MVPs, that you're the ones winning the trophies, all of that. And so we're just so excited, and we do not take it lightly that you have invested your time and energy into this program and put your trust in us. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We love you so much. And we are just so excited for you. And so we will see you on whatever next step in this journey we do together. All right, my friends, good night. We love you. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
How do I stop record?